Hey everybody, it's Dean DaCosta of the Search Authority, and today I'm going to talk about something that's going to get posted today involving Chrome. There's been much ado about a post that was made: 500 malicious extensions removed from Chrome that was previously barraged users with ads, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the problem. Um, Chrome's been talking about doing this for 6 months. Back in September, they were talking about doing it. For some, and I did a video on it. A lot of people spoke about it. Everybody's been yapping about it, but for some reason, people I guess didn't pay attention to it until now. And so there's been a plethora of posts about it. You can see three of them right here. They're pretty much all the same. When I open them up, here's what you get: this big long laundry list of stuff. So a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, when Chrome removes extension, they're always going to say it's violation or permissions or something. Always. Not always the case though. Sometimes they remove it because they just don't like the way it works. Sometimes they remove it because they don't like the title. Sometimes they remove it because it no longer good works. Sometimes they remove it because of pressure from other companies like, say, LinkedIn. But you didn't hear that from me. Well, everybody's going to hear it from me, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, so there's a lot of reasons why. So you got to do a little bit of your own digging to make sure. This digging actually should start when you first find a extension you're interested in. Don't just say, "Ooh, I like this. Let's put it in." So let's go through this. Let's use Chrome's own web store. When you get an extension you like, first thing you do is look over at stars. Don't pay a super amount of attention to it, just a little, because these stars are cumulative. So while this one says 4 stars, the question is how many of those lower ratings came in the first 6 months of the extension being in the store? A lot of times extensions go in the store and they're only 60%. There are issues, and they basically let users tell them, hey, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, let's fix it, let's fix it. And then by the time a year and a half is in there, that thing's working smooth, and all the stars are 4s and 5s from that point on. So don't pay a super amount of attention. But do keep it in mind, come over here to where the users, how many people are using it? That's important. Look at the name and then look at offered by Chrome Store Publisher. Well, that Chrome. Come down here and look at the additional information. Is there a report of abuse? What version? When's the last time it was updated? Is it being updated or is it? If this thing had said 2015, I'd probably be like, yeah, probably not. How big is it? Language, don't worry too much. And privacy policy. Those things are all important. Then come back and go to reviews. But don't look at English, don't look at helpful. Look at the most recent. Reason why I say it, look at the first one pops up helpful, 1 star back in 2015. Yeah, I'm good. Let's go recent. And if you look at the recent, you'll notice 5 stars. Then you have a 3 star. It's very used, but would be perfect should it. But would be perfect should it ever gain a facelift that occurred. So basically, this person likes it. He just doesn't like the way it looks. Okay, not a legit reason. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You know what? I want to launch an app. I bought from Google Play. There's no option to do that. Crazy. Why would there be a way to launch an app you bought on Google Play on Chrome? Google Play is not for Chrome. That's weird. Was not helpful at all. Well, okay, great. 2018, over a year ago. I'd like to understand more about why it was not helpful. Just saying stuff like that always makes you wonder if this person is working for another browser company or something. But whatever. Or is just anti-Chrome, whatever. I mean, look down here. Good. 3 stars. Really? If it's good, why would it? So that's why you read a little bit and learn, live, figure it out. Okay. Next thing we do. Next thing you do is you grab the Chrome user number, copy it, and then what we do is we put it in a tool called Our Excavator, which I did a video on, which will be up soon, and we run it, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we get description. The Chrome Web Store launches provide quick, easy access, content info, just not listed, email not listed. Not good, but we know it's by Google, so I mean, really, you can't find an email address for someone at Google or where they're at. That's yeah, lame. Matter of fact, I'll show you how to do that pretty easy. Come down here. You got content security policy. Boom. Permissions is low. Web store details is low. Now there's a number here. It's 398. Near as I could tell, I'm not. I thought the upper limit was 500, but I've seen some over 5, so I don't know what the upper limit is. I start more worrying about it at the 400 number, then I start paying attention to it, and then I come down here. The risk over time. You notice how there is no risk over time? That's because there's no risk. Um, a lot of times these scores and everything, while phenomenal, A lot of them, the higher risk can be from earlier when it first came out and stuff like that, not necessarily the way it is now. So that's why I always want to do the risk over time part and get an idea because this tells me more. It also gives me a version that we're on 1.24, which tells me a lot. Then I want to come down here to permissions where it says management gives your extension access to Chrome Management API. Well, gee, duh. And then I pay attention to all these other things down here. And then lastly, the thing I really want to know about is right here, potential external communications. I want to know these. Google, Google, Google. I feel pretty safe with those. If one of them wasn't a .com, was say a UK from UK or something that isn't a .com, a .gov, a .edu, I might worry about. But just to make sure, let's do a little more. Let's grab this one because this is the one that's the one that it's analytics, so you never know. We're gonna copy it and we're gonna open our browser and open a new window. We're going to paste it in there and we're going to go like that. You get all this googly got. That's basically what the JavaScript is. But what I care about is over here. Using a tool like IPWhois, I get to see more. So as an example, I know this website is in Northern Carolina, Memphis, San Jose. Well, Google's in San Jose. We now know for a fact it really is Google. Just because it says ssl.google-analytics, you've seen fake URLs that look almost exactly like the real ones, but they aren't. So you come in here and you check it. DNS, boom, 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 boom. All looks good. The who is, let's see what we get. We get Google Analytics. We get a bunch of Google, 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 and a partridge in a pear tree. A whole bunch of administrative contacts, contacts that you can get to. Get down here, you get more information. We know where Google is. They're in California. We know all this. This isn't telling me anything I don't know, but that's good. Then we get the Alexa ranking. What's its ranking? It's a pretty good ranking. If it's a good ranking and being used a lot, that usually means it's pretty cool. It's pretty safe. So those are the things that I want to know immediately because, well, it's important. So that's that. Now let's go back here to, let's see if I can get back to here. What I want to do now is show you guys something that I think is important. I've done this before. I've shown it before. But when you go into where your Chrome extensions are, you could search for them, do everything. It's important, number one, that developer mode is on. The reason why developer mode on is important is because without developer mode, you don't get these things over here. If I take it off, you'll notice they disappear. If I turn it on, they're there. And this is important. This allows you to manually update your extensions. This allows you to pack and unpack and load and unpack extensions. I could pick any extension on here, including ones that may not be in the store anymore, and pack it. Now, what does that let me do? That lets me share it. That lets me have a copy of it and move it to a different browser that maybe it'll still work with. Just because a tool has been removed from the Chrome store and or doesn't work in Chrome anymore doesn't mean it still won't work. It just means Chrome's not allowing it to work. Chrome is controlled by Google. There are other, but it's still based on Chromium. There are other browsers that are Chromium based that aren't controlled by Google. An example of one, believe it or not, is this one. This is the new Microsoft Edge. Notice I have extensions. Yeah, it works with extensions. I can put any extensions I want. In fact, let me show you real quick. If I go to extensions, you'll notice, look, developer mode's on. I have load, unload, update. I also have allow extensions from other stores on. So this way I can allow extensions from almost any store I want. All I got to do is find it and copy paste the URL and I can download it. But I can go ahead and load or unload extensions from this. Now, what I am not going to do is go through how to do it. I will tell you, if you just look up on the internet how to pack, unpack, and load an extension, there are boatloads of sites and videos on how to do it. I'm not going to go through that because this video is already at 9 minutes, and I don't tend to go that long on these. So trust me, there are plenty of videos. If for some reason you can't find one you like, email me, and then I'll sit down with you and show you. It's not hard. It's really easy, actually. So we got all that. We got our CIX. So I'm happy. Now, keep in mind, when you're putting in an extension, it's going to ask for permission. You got to decide whether you're willing to give it permission. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I am, but I don't want to do it on this version of Chrome. Why? Because sometimes what it wants access to is my address book. Well, this version of Chrome is logged into my main Gmail account, which has thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, and I don't want to share them. So what I might do is load it onto a different Chrome browser, like this one here called Brave, which is hooked up to my other Gmail account, which has a whole whopping one person in the address book, and it's me. And frankly, I don't care if people know how to contact me because it ain't like it's hard. Just look it up on the net. I'm all over the place, or at least I try to be. Mainly so people can contact me for help. So, this little hingy dingy bingy mingy thing here, with all these cute, pretty little things, opens up to this, which gives us a whole bunch of extensions that they have removed. But let's look at these for a minute. Recipe, whatever. Game shill. Well, first of all, it has the word shill in it. I'd worry about because a shill is not a good thing. Backtrack plus, that would concern me. Plazes, okay. Super simple tools, whatever the heck that is. Loves, whatever, anything with the word love in it would worry me. And then there's some, if you get down here, all you have is their actual ID. So let's grab one ID and let's go back in and let's go to the CRX and let's go ahead and see what it says on one just so we can get an idea. Now keep in mind it's been removed, so I don't expect as much info as I'd like. So it was a 486. That's freaking high. That is high. And it came down a little bit, but not much. The reason why the risk over time went from way up there down to here is because it got removed from the store, so it's no longer in the store. And you'll notice there's no more info. This would concern that the 486, that 400 is the number I start. I mean, I pay attention to everything, but at 400, I really make sure. In fact, that's where I go down to the area where you saw the different calls it makes, and I check every one of them, not just one, but all of them. I am very sure. Matter of fact, I am already telling you for a fact I have no Chrome extension that is in the 400s. Period, because it's just dangerous. That said, what you're also going to notice is I have security. I have 360 internet security, which is phenomenal. And then I also have a secondary security on my browser, which is Windows Defender browser protection on there. They work together just fine. They get updated regularly. And between them, I get protected pretty well. But there's more you can do. So let's go back to, first of all, Privacy Cleaner. Privacy Cleaner is a great tool. I don't have it active right now, but it is a great tool, and it lets you know what you've given access to, what you haven't. So I'm going to re-enable it, actually. Um, and it's going through scanning apps for permissions, and it will let you see, now I have a lot, what extensions have what access, and you can decide if you want them to have it or not, and take it off. And it's simple. It's prettier. So let's go up here. And it even tells you whether they're a risk or not. This is very high risk. Well, this is Nest. I do have one of those doorbells. I'm good. It's a high risk, but it's not a high risk that I'm worried about. And it even tells you what kind of high risk it is. Basic permissions. That's all it's got is basic permissions. So why should I worry about it? If it's got basic permissions, it doesn't do anything basic. Just basic. The reason why it's a higher risk is because it is a video device, and so that would be considered. And I'm going to just trust it. YouTube on TV. Let's find out what's going on here. Action on VR. Manage your YouTube account. I'm actually okay with that because I do a lot of Zoom. So I'm not going to go through all of them. So let's just go through quickly. These are the high risk, and I've got to decide where I want them. And there's not many here that I would probably remove. I'm probably willing to remove that one because frankly, I don't think I really give a flying. I don't use WordPress that much anymore. But this is all of them. And you got medium risk, and then you have unknown risks and trusted. Now, Redaris is under risk. I don't even really use Redaris much anymore. But look what it has. Okay, access to your info, email address. If I'm not mistaken, it's my Gmail with one person. Name and profile picture. I don't really care much about either. Don't really use Redaris, so I'm just going to disconnect the thing because I don't use it. I'm not going to do anything. Trusted, we got the trusted. Like I said, I haven't run this in a while. And that's just because I'm pretty comfortable with what I got. And I'm going to go there. Low risk ones, high risk, medium risk. And you can break it down by everything. Facebook, Google, Plus, which is no longer there, but Twitter, login information, more login. I mean, you can break it down by almost anything you want. Now I'm going to go through this and clean mine up because there are a few here I'm not sure I want. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I haven't cleaned it in a while. I usually clean it and turn this off, and then every once a quarter I clean it again. So I'm going to clean it. Old extension log. This is really cool because you can get a list of all the extensions you've ever had. If something gets removed and you can't remember what it is, or if you accidentally removed it, you can't remember what it is, you can just get a log of your old extensions. I don't have mine on right now because I keep a running log anyway. but I have used it in the past. Next thing, um, this one here is an extension update notifier. It just lets you know when an extension is being updated, so you know. Um, I don't have it active, and the reason I don't have it is because I have over 400 extensions. I really don't want to know every time they're updated. I have it set in my calendar to manually update them all once a week anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Share extension. This is a really cool one with that. If somebody says, "Hey Dean, I need to know what extensions you have." No problem. I can get this. I can get a list of them all along with the direct link to where you can get them in the store. Send it to somebody, and they can just download all the ones I have. Simple, easy, peasy. So if you do all the things I'm talking about here, um, you can do Chrome extensions really safe and not worry about it. And if Chrome removes one for some reason, and it's not one you think it's a problem, you want to use it, you think it's just because somebody complained, um, you still have it on your computer. You can pack it and move it over to a different browser and unpack it, and you're good to go. And if for some reason that doesn't work, ask, look around, look at my SSAR page. Odds are I have another extension that does the exact same thing or another way to do it there. It's very unlikely that I don't. And that's it. Simple, easy, no need to fuss, no no need to get upset. Google is always looking at extensions for viable security risks, deciding to remove them or not, and because companies don't want them there anymore, or because people complain, or just because they just don't like something like the name or something. I know an extension got removed because they didn't like the name. Changed the name, put it on there. They said it was good. A month later, they said, "Nah, never mind. We don't like the name." So it went back and forth for almost a year until they finally found a name they liked. I mean, it's really interesting. So don't panic, and don't let people writing blogs like 500 malicious. It's good to know, but keep in mind, they're always doing it. Always. And so don't panic just because you're doing it. This list is a great, huge list. Don't get me wrong. Congrats. Yay. And they're all probably doing the exact same thing the exact same way, which is why they all got grabbed at the exact same time. And who knows, they might even all be owned by the exact same group of people. Um, but keep in mind, they're always doing it. Extensions come and go constantly. One of my favorite swordfish got pulled because they didn't like the name. Finally got, and it didn't take 6 months, different one. So this one, I think they took them 3 days, and it was back up, and it's working great. Love it. Or they didn't like the explanation of it, not the name. They were fine with the name. They didn't like the explanation. They wanted a word removed. Yay. Um, so it works. So all I'm saying is this: don't get upset about it. Don't. Oh my God, what do I do? They're constantly looking at them. They're always going to be pulling them. There's always going to be new ones. There's always ways to stay secure and not have to worry about it like I do. And most importantly, there's always a way to make them work in other Chrome-based browsers and or other tools that can do the job. Example, if you looked on the I have 6 browsers sitting here. All of them are Chromium based, which means I can do anything I want with them. This is the Microsoft version, which I showed you. So relax. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't panic. Don't let sensationalism come in. They are constantly removing extensions, constantly having new ones come in. They're removed for a lot of different reasons. Some are legit. It looks like that 500 malicious one is all legit. I checked out every one of them. They all doing very similar things. I didn't use any of them. But now you know how to check them to make sure. Now it sounds like a lot of work, but you know what? You've got to decide, is what that extension going to give you worth it or not? If it's worth it, then you do it. If it's not worth it, then don't waste your time figuring it out. Or just look at my SSAR page because you guarantee if they're there, I've checked them out. Now, of course, extensions can come in clean and be good, and then all of a sudden they make a change and it's no longer good. It's now nefarious. True. I stay on top of it pretty good though. So all I'm saying is do your due diligence. That's all you got to do. You put security on your browsers, you do your due diligence, you take care of the permissions, and you're good to go. My name's Dean DaCosta, the Search Authority. This was, I guess, Chrome and all and security and everything you need to know. Was afraid to ask. May the source be with you.